is Sigaz Ngube.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. Commissioners, the next witness is Chief Mashaba. He has elected to take the oath.
Good afternoon, Chief Mashaba.
Good afternoon, Chair.
Do you please place your full names on record?
Samuel Tiane Mashaba.
Do you swear that the evidence you are going to give is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
Thank you.
Oh, okay. Yes.
Please proceed on page 1, and you can start from paragraph 1, introduction, and just read from paragraph 1.
I, Samuel Tiane Mashaba, state the following under oath in English, that I'm an adult male traffic officer. I joined Gauteng Traffic Office in 2003 as a trainee in Buchenwald Kloof Traffic College in Pretoria West. In 2004, I again joined a provincial taxi violence task team. In 2006, I was then seconded to Premier's office as a supervisor. Correction, I omitted, as an acting supervisor, PPI, to form VIP escort unit, assisting the Premier's team, the President and the Deputy President's convoys. In 2013, I was then promoted to a Chief Provincial Inspector post at the Premier's office in charge of same teams, Premier, RSA 1 and 2. In 2018, I was politically and forcefully removed. I was even arrested and detained at Johannesburg Central, together with my 3 other colleagues. And the following day, the matter was not placed on the roll, and we were released. I was then suspended. Upon my reinstatement, I was transferred to Vereeniging Regional Office at as the head of the service point or region. In 2020, I was appointed as the Acting Deputy Director, Sidibeng District, Southern Corridor. The Aeroton drug bust.
Before you proceed to the Aeroton drug bust, what is your current position?
Chief.
And when were you appointed chief?
2013.
So you say in 2020 you were appointed as acting deputy director.
Yes.
But you say that now you're the chief. What is, I'm not following.
I was acting
Yes.
on the in 2020.
So you retained your permanent position as the chief, but you were appointed as the acting director.
I was a chief. I am a chief, appointed
13.
2013. In 2020, I was appointed as the acting. This is the next level after the chief.
Yes, that's why I'm asking, are you still now the acting deputy director or the permanent deputy director, or what is your title?
Maybe I can say I'm demoted. I'm still a chief.
Okay, so that was just your acting post in 2020, and you didn't get a permanent appointment. So your position now is back to what it was in 2013, before the, okay, thank
Yes.
you. You may proceed.
Aeroton drug bust. On Thursday, the 8th July 2021, I received a tip-off from Mr. Tumelonku of a truck traveling from Durban to Johannesburg, which was allegedly suspected to have drugs in its cargo. I then asked Mr. Nku to first confirm if the information was positive before I could act on it. On the following morning, February the 9th, July 2021, Friday, sorry, at about 5 o'clock a.m., I received a call from Mr. Nku, who confirmed that the information was in Alberton. I then left the house to the agreed location, driving a silver grey State VW Golf 7, and I need to emphasize this, whereas it's not in the statement, that the information I got was that I need to be careful who to involve. I met Mr. Nku, and he gave me a briefing on his information and the truck in question. After the briefing, I decided to engage the process for intercepting the truck and to have it searched. I needed backup to conduct such a process, and it is in that regard that I sought assistance from other officers. I contacted Warrant Officer Pokungwani from Alberton Subs Detectives. I requested him to come and assist me. He indicated that he was not available as he had just got vaccinated. He also could not refer me to anyone else on duty at Alberton Subs. However, he gave me Warrant Officer Mahana's contact number to check if he could assist me. I then phoned Warrant Officer Mahane for assistance. He told me he could not assist at that moment. However, he did indicate that if I did not get assistance, I can check with him later on. I then phoned Lebo from PIU, Gauteng, who told me he doesn't have a motor car and could not assist as well. At about 15 to 20 minutes, I phoned Warrant Officer Mahane again for assistance. Fortunately, he was now available and he agreed to come to assist. I sent him my location, and within 30 minutes, he arrived where I was with Mr. Nku. He was driving his official vehicle, a Nissan NP300 Baki. I then introduced him to Mr. Nku, and after briefing him, Mr. Nku narrated the information again to Warrant Officer Mahane. He then decided we would go to the premises of Yellow Jersey Logistics, where the truck was allegedly parked. We then approached the premises and asked for a depot manager. After a short while, the manager came, to whom we introduced ourselves. We informed him that we wanted to conduct a search in one of the trucks in the premises. I remember him by his first name, Ardas. We gave him the exact container number, which we got from Mr. Nku, which we requested to search. He agreed and confirmed that the truck in question was still in the premises. He also advised that the truck was carrying the load for their customer, Scania, in Aeroton, where the truck would ultimately go. When we wanted to search the truck, Ardes told us that he would have a problem allowing us to to break the seals at Yellow Jersey Logistics, as the customer might have an issue with that. I suggested that we escort the truck to the customer and let Ardes or his security escort us to confirm that we are not bogus cops. Ardes agreed. We were then accompanied or escorted by Yellow Jersey Logistics Security to Scania's office in Aeroton. As such, it was me, Warrant Officer Mahana in the black Nissan Baki, belonging to the state, Mr. Nku's BMW, as well as the Yellow Jersey Escort Baki that went with the truck to the Scania at Aeroton. We arrived in Aeroton at about 8 o'clock a.m. When we reached Scania, we introduced ourselves and explained to Scania employees the reason we were there. We then requested to see the manager. We then directed the truck be parked at the offloading bay. We, that's myself, Warrant Officer Mahane and Mr. Nku, parked about 80 meters from the truck where from the truck was parked. The person who introduced herself as a manager was Miss Jolene, who was also the recipient of the truck. Another person by the name of Cornelius also came. He's the one who gave instructions to the Scania workers to open the container. When the container opened, black bags started falling down. At that point, we realized that the tip-off was indeed correct. There were drugs in those bags. As the truck was still loaded with truck parts, we decided to bring the Nissan Baki driven by Warrant Officer Mahane next to the truck so that we can secure the exhibits and further search the container if there were more drugs other than what we could see. We loaded the fallen bags into Warrant Officer Mahane's black Nissan Baki, assisted by Scania employees. We directed that the truck further reverses onto the bay so that the forklift can drive in and offload the truck parts. I then informed both Jolene and the driver, Vusim Tembu, that I was placing them under arrest for possession of drugs. We then started to count all the bags to be 23 in number, and we placed them securely on the Baki. I was informed by Warrant Officer Mahana that he contacted Warrant Officer Pakula from National Investigative Unit to come help process the scene. While still waiting for Warrant Officer Pakula, private security and boys in subs van came in to where we were parked. The subs members found me standing with Warrant Officer Mahana outside waiting for Warrant Officer Pakula. They informed us that they got a complaint about bogus cops members. We then introduced ourselves to the two police officers, and they were satisfied with our identities. Thereafter, Warrant Officer Pakula arrived driving a red Kia Cerato I went to meet with Warrant Officer. I went to meet him with Warrant Officer Makhana, and we briefed him, Warrant Officer Pakula, about what had happened. I also pointed to him that the driver whom I already placed under arrest. After getting the information, Warrant Officer Pakula requested to see the person who was receiving the cargo. I had him request Warrant Officer Mukhana to contact the photographer, which Warrant Officer Mukhana did through assistance of Boysen's subs members. Warrant Officer Pakula was busy obtaining a statement from Jolene when suddenly several police cars with officers started driving in. There was a lot of commotion, and we got the feeling that we were viewed with suspicion. I can say that there were instances of confrontation. One of the officers who had confrontation with Warrant Officer Pakula was later known as Warrant Officer Khotso, who was accompanied by Colonel Ndlela. However, Colonel Ndlela was happy with the success and congratulated us. Warrant Officer Khotso had a problem and started arguing with Warrant Officer Pakula, and his argument was that why didn't we have an inquiry to effect an arrest, which Warrant Officer told him there was no time to open an inquiry. Then he said, Major General Khan of Crime Intelligence was on his way. Warrant Officer Pakula had earlier called members of the Provincial Dog Unit, K9, to come to the scene. They then arrived together.
Just don't mention the name.
The name of?
Yes, don't mention, just say
The
at
first,
this point.
the first name on the third line of paragraph 20.
Yes. So the Lieutenant Colonel, don't mention that name.
Okay.
Sorry.
They then arrived together at this point. Then the captain I must mention.
Yes, the captain is fine.
Oh.
So can I just read it?
Sorry.
Here.
Perhaps the best would have been to make changes beforehand. Otherwise, what happened with Sergeant
Previous.
Kosi will happen here as well.
No, I think I get you. Can I proceed?
It only appears there for now. Yes, you may proceed.
Yes.
Captain Medupi also arrived. The dog unit members were ready to perform their duties. When General Khan arrived, he stopped them. Everything got out of hand. He did not ask for a briefing from us and simply did not want to listen to us. He went to other persons instead and got the version which he entertained. He was behaving like a man with all the powers and took charge of the scene. General Khan instructed Warrant Officer Makhane to sit in his buggy. Then that's where the altercation between me and General Khan began, when I confronted him and asked, why is he instructing Makhane to sit in his car, which looks like an arrest? General Khan also took me to where my car was parked. He then took my cell phone, searched my car for drugs, but there was nothing. He then took my service firearm and put it in there to guard me, and I must stay next to my car. Meaning I was removed from the scene, and told me he wants to talk to my boss, Chief Director Advocate Tami Maisela. He then called Deputy Director Mandla Skonyani and asked if he knows me. The phone was on speaker. Mandla then agreed he knows me. Then General Khan asked to talk to my boss, Chief Director Advocate Tami Maisela. Then fortunately, my boss and Mandla Skonyani were together. And Mandla gave the Chief Director, Advocate Tami Maisela, the phone, still on loudspeaker. He inquired whether I'm still employed, suspended, or fired at the department. My boss confirmed that I'm still an employee and asked Khan what is the problem. Khan responded that he found me on the scene of drugs in Aeroton. My boss said he doesn't care what I did. I must just be locked up. But then General Khan wanted to release me. I refused and said, if he releases me, he must release the other guys also. But if he arrests them, he must also arrest me. At this stage, there was chaos with a lot of police officers on the scene. Our success was hijacked from us by police officers who wanted to claim our success. Sorry, the only reason for them to claim success was by arresting us, and that is exactly what they did. At around 1:30, 13:30, we were arrested by DPCI Hawks team that came last at the crime scene. These were Brigadier Sekgobela, Colonel Stein, Colonel Maluleka, Captain Sibola, Captain Norke. They arrested us and took charge of the scene. The driver, Vusim Tembu, Cornelius, and Miss Jolene, who were placed under arrest, were released, and the truck was not even taken to SIP 13. Excuse. After the arrest, we were taken to Boysens police station for detention, and was detained at around 19:30 until Monday, the 12th July 2021. To our surprise, we were treated very bad during detention in the cells, and we were told, as per General Kadwa's instruction, that we are not allowed to be visited, where the toilet was not even working, and nothing was allowed from our families outside. Food, toiletries, and water. We appeared at the Boysens Magistrate Court on Monday, the 12th July 2021 for bail. Still on Monday in court, our lawyer J.P. Fenter told us that the control prosecutor and his team were refusing to place the matter on the roll Sorry. However, General Kado and Brigadier Sekgobela came to court and threatened them, his prosecutors and the lawyer, to enroll the matter. The case was then postponed to the next day, the 13th of July 2021. We were then remanded in custody for 7 days for a formal bail application. We were then transferred to Johannesburg Prison, Sun City. Our bail application was on the 21st of July 2021. During the bail application, Captain Sebola said we had been arrested for possession of allegedly 700 kg of drugs, cocaine. The magistrate in Westgate Court asked whether the drugs were weighed, and if so, which method was used, which he could not answer. Again, the magistrate suggested that our arrest was rushed or made prematurely. Again, Captain Sebola could not answer or rebut the suggestion. We were then granted bail. On our way from court, my supervisor, Director Pompi, served me with a letter of notice to suspend dated 20 July 2021. Copies of the events of suspension and disciplinary hearing to be attached. But until today, I don't know what is happening with my departmental case. I don't know whether it's still on or not.
Can I ask, Chief Mashaba, does that mean you are not back at work yet?
I am back at work, but I don't know how far is the case.
Okay.
Departmental.
So you were never suspended?
I was suspended.
Following this letter?
Yes.
And then you went back to work?
Yes.
Without any process? Without a disciplinary process or anything?
The disciplinary process was not followed.
Okay. Thank you.
Is the case that the period of suspension expired, and because it had expired, you had to go back to work?
Yes, Commissioner.
It's usually 3 months, right?
Yes, 90 days.
You may proceed.
Boysen's case 252, October 2021, defeating the ends of justice and obstruction of police officers from executing their duties, their lawful duties. The Boysen's case 252, 10/2021 case emanates from our arrest and detention by General Khan, Crime Intelligence General Kado, Brigadier Sekgobela, Captain Sebola, Captain Norkie, Colonel Stein, and the Gauteng DPCI team. That case was transferred to IPIT for further investigation. IPIT then took the matter to Director of Public Prosecutions in South Gauteng for a decision. Advocate Chauke decided not to prosecute the suspects in the matter, reason being it was just a misunderstanding among different law enforcement officers. This was surprisingly different from the reason or motivation given by the same Office of Advocate Chauke when we made our presentations for our case to be withdrawn. IPIT then recommended that all members involved in our arrest must be charged departmentally. However, General Khan was charged, whose hearing was presided by Lieutenant General Mkonazi, KZN Provincial Commissioner. General Khan was not found guilty. An impression was created that he was being victimized. Major General Kadwa of the DPCI and his team were not charged. During General Khan's hearing, the DPCI issued a report that all their members are cleared. At the same time, there was media reports that witnesses in the General Khan's hearing, that is us, were facing an immediate re-enrollment of their case. Our case has not been re-enrolled as reported. Our Boysen's case 98-07-2021 was provisionally withdrawn on the 12th of October 2022 and finally withdrawn by Advocate Zikok from NDPP in January 2024. In 2025-11-03, I lodged a grievance of unfair treatment, harassment, and victimization with our labor section. Again, it was ignored and remained unresolved. Copy of the grievance attached. In 2025, December, I was then moved to head office as the head of SLEU, Special Law Enforcement Unit. It's an undercover unit dealing with high priority crimes, internal affairs and anti-corruption, anti-fraud and corruption in the province, working with other law enforcement units, SAPS, DPCI and metros, etc. till date. I know and understand the content of the statement. I have no objection in taking the prescribed oath, and I consider the oath to be binding on my conscience.
Thank you, Chief. Is there anything else you want to add to your statement before we adjourn and finalize this part of your questioning?
Not that I can think of now.
Thank you, Chair.
Chief Mashaba,
Yes, Chair.
we will adjourn at this stage, resume at 9:30 tomorrow morning.
Okay, Chair.
You must not be late.
I can hear, Chair.
You must not be late.
I must?
Don't be
Not
late.
be late. Don't be late.
Okay.
Let's
All right, Chair, I
adjourn.
won't be.